Howdy all Moglax Lives. I think it's time to play a little Minecraft. Alright, so I have been, I really ought to bring a bed over here. I have been working on getting this thing going. Uh, I've made some changes to it, and I know last time I had like an extra tower of water for the bad guys to spawn in, and I discovered that unfortunately, uh, oh man, this is a lot of sand, and it's right in my way. Unfortunately, the guardians do not spawn that high, so uh, somewhere, somewhere I emptied my inventory of glass. Here we go. I need you, glass. And so my towers were pointless. Not completely pointless, just somewhat pointless. And so I am trying to switch over to a tank instead. And I am getting there. I think I think 3 high of water is enough. Whoa, dang it! Walking backwards and falling off is not helpful though. So I am thinking that 3 high with the water should be enough for me. Oops. I mean, I guess I don't technically need any glass down here because the water's not going that far. But hey, you know what? I should probably do it anyways because these guys like to bounce around and I don't want them to jump out. Okay. Alright, I need a couple of bits of water here. Yeah, it's been a hectic couple of days. I get really anxious when we have bad storms because I mean it's partially my fault, but we have a sump in our basement here, and it runs quite a lot. Not my fault. It's just where we live is. Oh man, would you? Where we live is quite wet, and so the oh, I should probably do this side in too. And so it runs pretty much year round. Not pretty much, it runs year round, and not constantly, but it probably goes off. Unless it's been dry for a couple of weeks, it probably goes off every couple hours at least. And then if there's a bad storm, if it's like flooding storm levels, then it can go off like every minute. And so I don't like it. It makes me nervous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so oh, you're in my way, door. We had a flooding storm. No, we had worse than a flooding storm. We had a flooding storm and an ice storm that could knock out the power. Uh, so that's like the worst of all the worlds is too much water and no way to pump it out. So it makes me anxious and makes it stressful. And so, luckily, we did not lose power. A lot of people around us did, but we didn't. I was prepared though. I had gasoline for the backup generator. Um, we just don't have like an automatic back. Where is the hole that I use to get down in here? It's not here though, right? This is too low. I guess I should have come in from the other side. So I was prepared for it, but just because you're prepared for it doesn't mean you want it to happen, and it still makes me anxious because I've gotten used to sleeping with earplugs because everybody here is so loud, and I'm really afraid that I am going to sleep through the. Oh, dang it. Well, that's a problem. I mean, is that a problem? It's a visual problem, but is it a problem? I feel like they'll still go. Flopping over the edge here still, yeah. Alright. That looks like it should work. Okay, so now I gotta get back up top. I have not figured out how to fix my fall damage yet. I will admit I have taken quite a bit of time with it, but advantage of it, I mean. So I did tear down the towers. I also changed this up a bit. I didn't like how it was working, and so I lowered the level of water by 1, and I placed a air gap here with the signs. And then what I had was water flowing all the way out to the edge, but I didn't like how that was going either. So I placed a couple of signs here right on the edge so you get pushed off a little better. Just like that. And so we do have, oh, look at that. That one gave us our 2 stacks of, I thought they were supposed to drop 2 crystals. Maybe it's 2 shards they drop. Obviously, I'm going to need more chests to hold all that stuff, but that is not what we're working on right now. We're working on getting things to spawn. But yeah, so it's been hectic, and we had birthday parties on Friday, and then I actually recorded. Oh, I forgot about moving this chest. I actually recorded. Dang it. Oh, shoot. Well, that didn't work out like I planned at all. Thanks, game. Thanks. Well, I guess this will work out okay. I'll open this here and we'll just do that. All right. And So we had the weather was like expect extended losses of power, and I'm like, what? I'm like, oh no. So I recorded like 3 episodes on Friday so that I didn't have anything else to record. So that if we did lose power, actually I don't need. Do I? Did I run this all the way up? Oh, I totally did. Never mind. I guess we'll go with glass. Uh, and then we had family birthday party going on, and it's actually 4 birthday parties altogether. It was crazy. Stressful. And we did get the ice, we did get the water, but we didn't get the power loss. There is a lot of power loss going on nearby, so it did happen. It just didn't happen here, and so I am very happy that it didn't happen here. I need to get. We have a battery backup in case the power goes out, but I don't trust it at all, and so I need to get a professional in to probably replace it with a bigger one. We just haven't done it yet. We did get the guy in. He came yesterday in the middle of the storm to start working on some of the other things that we wanted done around here. I had decided that I was not going to do some of the things that we wanted done, and that we should probably. Oh great! I just ruined that. Dang it. Oh wow! I really thought those would come back in as full blocks, but they are not. They are not. And so we started our bathroom remodeling, which I definitely wasn't going to do because that was not my fault nor my plan. And will this just fill in on its own down through here? I just don't have to worry about it. Certainly looks like it. Whoa, dang it. I don't want to go down there. Yeah, okay, so I'm not a interior care what things look like kind of person usually. I mean, I don't want it to look terrible, but I don't care as long as it doesn't look terrible. And so we moved into this house, and it's already, it was a previously owned home, and so things are designed already, interior design. They're painted, they're papered, whatever. And I find I just don't care that the bathroom has ships on the wall. Not a lot, just a little row around the middle of ships, right? I just don't care. I don't. What difference does it make? I don't spend enough time in there to care. And but woof, my sister, she can't stand it. She doesn't even use that bathroom. She doesn't go in there. So I really don't understand what difference it makes whether or not the bathroom has ships. And so then one day our kid got in there, and Oh, dang it. I didn't want to fall in here. Uh, One of our kids got in there and stopped up the sink and then turned the water on and just left it running. And so nobody knew that it happened until I heard water dripping into the basement where I was at. And this is a upstairs bathroom, so that went through 2 floors to get to where I was at. And so we cleaned that mess. Well, no, they didn't clean it up. I cleaned it up down here. I cleaned it up on the floor above that, and then I left it for them to clean up the bathroom, and they didn't. And it was summer, and so after sitting there all sopping wet for multiple days, it was terrible. And so we had to tear out the carpet and stuff like that. And so it's been a mess for a while now because they don't they don't seem very motivated to do anything about stuff like that. Unless they tell me that I need to start remodeling the bathroom that I don't use and didn't make the mess in. I need to clean it up. So I'm like, we're going to hire somebody because I'm not doing it. So he was out. It was actually a huge hassle to get somebody. I was very shocked. Like, I wouldn't think that it'd be that hard to find someone who does the kind of work we need done. And you know what? I'm going to go get stuff to make a bed. I'm tired of not being able to sleep here. Or maybe I'll just go get the bed. I mean, I've just got a bed laying over here. But we contacted 2 different contractors and an interior decorator who has contractors. And none of them wanted to take us on as a client. And one of the contractors we've worked with before, and they were all like, oh, I don't really want to start anything right now, or I'm too busy right now, or just flat out said, yeah, give me a couple of days and I'll get back to you, and then never contacted us again. So yeah, my one friend does this kind of stuff as a hobby, and so he's going to come do some work for us, which is good because I don't want to do it. I just don't feel like he's already done more than in the couple of hours he was here than I would have done in an entire day. Mostly because I have to sit and look at it and figure it out because it's not something I do, and then he just knows. So he got in there with a saw, cut stuff up, poke some holes, done. So the toilet's out, bathtub's out, drywall's down, flooring's cleaned up. He is ready for the next phase. And I'm like, woof, that would have taken me like 2 days to get that far. Alright. We're going to sink me in here. And then we're going to try and watch, see how this works. It might be too close right here. The thing is I'm not sure how they spawn. And so what I read was, well, I know that the towers I had were too tall. And so I think some of the spawns I'm seeing are actually spawning in the in the tower that's shoving them out. I might be too close to this bottom area here. I'm going to have to build a spot. You know what I could do? I know what I could do. Instead of being here, maybe I can go... maybe I can go out here. this way I'm up high enough to watch it from a goodly distance. Some of it might also be the spawn limit. I don't know if Guardians are tied into that. Um, and I do have a problem with spawns underneath. And I've got to get some supplies together for cleaning that up. Oh, I just saw a whole bunch of them spawn. Oh, look at them! Look at them all spawning down there in the tub I just made for them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know where that one came from. He's extra. So I don't think I'm going to make more than just that one tower that spits them out, but I might go back in and change it a little bit and make more towers. Basically, they have to spawn below 63, which is where I'm standing right now. This is 63. Um, and if the roof is covered, they have a higher chance to spawn. And so I don't know that I will build too much higher than that, but I might build one block, not block, but one tank higher than that one, maybe, and just kind of run it out over top of the one that's already there, maybe. Because I definitely would like a little faster spawning than it's doing, just so I don't have to be here for a long time. Although, to be fair, I could just. I mean, it's working. It's definitely working. Well, it was working. Where'd that guy go? I didn't see him fall. I got one just hanging out there in the corner for some reason. There we go. I like it. So my D&D games going all right, sort of. The let's talk about the Wednesday night one first here. So my Wednesday night DM has got this thing where we've argued over some of the rules to the game, not discussing how a rule should be applied that's written down in the book, but rules on how we play. And so he has a tendency to get his opinions from other people, and um, so he watched a thing that talked about how this one DM didn't like flanking. Did you see that? That guy just vanished halfway down. I don't know. I don't know what happened to him there. Just vanished. Um, but so flanking is so we got a bad guy here, and then one of the characters is standing here, and the other character is standing here. So then opposite sides of the bad guy, right? So that's called flanking. You're flanked. And so in the rule book, it says this is an optional rule. So flanking doesn't even have to exist. And to be fair, I almost never use it because I'm annoyed with what he's done to it. And so in the rule book, it says the optional rule is you get advantage. Advantage in D&D 5e, which is what we're playing, means you roll the dice twice and take the higher of the two rolls. And so that works out to be like a +5, I think. on average to a roll. And so he didn't like that. He felt that because the person he watched said that it was too big of an advantage to the players, even though the bad guys use it too. And that guy didn't like it, and so that guy changed it for the earlier edition. Now, D&D is a little different than what you think of when you think of like versions of something. So version 4 is not an earlier version of version 5. And so don't get them confused. Like Windows 9, which did Windows 9 exist? Windows 8. Um, Windows 8 and Windows 10 are similar in what they do, and they look a little bit alike, and so they are different versions of the same thing. And they have a lot of the same programs and stuff. It's not the same thing for D&D. Fourth edition is way different than fifth edition. Third edition is way different than fourth edition. Second edition is different than third edition. First edition is different. They're all different. They share some of the same concepts, but they apply them differently. And so flanking in the earlier version was you get a +2, and flanking in 5e was you get advantage. And so those numbers mean different things to the two different systems. And so it's just I wasn't really using it before. I have a tendency just to get my guy in close and attack. But I had a character, and this is what it came from. I had a character that required advantage to use special abilities that they basically assume you're going to use every time. And so somewhere in there he got it in his head that if he took away advantage, then I wouldn't be able to use it. But then the other rule that goes with it is that as long as an ally is within 5 feet of the bad guy you're attacking, you still get to use your special ability. So it made zero difference to me, other than losing the ability to roll with advantage. And so he changed it to +2, right? So it's stuff like that that just is weird to me. I don't know why he's doing it. And so I got him to change some of the rules. Surprisingly, he allowed it to change this time. And one of those is hero points. They've got a thing in the game called inspiration, and I think it's dumb. So D&D is a game of math, right? So you've got how strong you are as a number, how fast you are as a number, right? There are rules for everything, practically. You want to lift a boulder. Well, there's this. Do you see that chicken? Where'd that chicken come from? Why is there a chicken suddenly in the middle of the ocean? What is going on? Why are you here? That's so weird. Hey, chicken, you wanna go? You wanna go live over here? I mean, you might as well, right? Oh, chicken, look out! He must be. He must be the mount of a zombie that somehow survived to get to the surface, right? So, so inspiration to me was a dumb one because it was if the DM feels like you did something worthy, then they can give you advantage on a dice roll, uh, which is fine, I guess, if your DM is impartial and remembers to use it. And so, but I've only ever seen it used for dumb things like, ooh, that was a funny pun, so here's your thing. Ooh, you rolled a natural 20 on your attack. So here's inspiration. Like, that doesn't even make any sense because I don't get it every time I get a natural 20. So there you go. I think you can fly, right? Yeah. I can too for some reason. I don't know why. And so I got them switched to hero points, which is just you get a set amount every level, and then when they run out, they run out. They don't come back until you go up a new level. Uh, and but yeah, so one of the things we argued about was how you get levels, and I hate milestone leveling, which is the DM decides that you've accomplished enough to go up your next level. Uh, because especially because our DM has no clue on uh, what an accomplishment to get to the next level should be. And so I don't like it. And so I got him to agree that we would go with the other version of going up a level, experience. And so there, I mean, the game is designed around experience. And so everything has got a listing for how much it's worth. And uh, so I like it because it lets me know how close I am to my next level and stuff. And so we run into this problem this last week, in that he agreed to use. Oh, there's a guy that trident. I really would like a trident, but I've never managed to get a trident. All right, we gotta finish here, anyways. And so 3 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago. Let's go 4 weeks ago. The 4 sessions ago, because it's been longer than 4 weeks. 4 sessions ago, we did a bunch of stuff, and he says, "Just to warn you, this guy you're about to fight, he's too strong for you to win. So he shouldn't have been the bad guy for what we were doing, anyways. He's too strong for you to win, so I'm just letting you know you got to be prepared to run away this time." Well, we killed him. And so when you kill something, even when you just fight it and it gets away, you're supposed to get a chunk of experience. So what he did was he put in a way more powerful guy than was supposed to be there and had us fight it. And so the guy we were supposed to fight was supposed to be like 300 XP. So, but you divide that by 4, so it's not a lot. And instead, he put in a guy that was worth almost 4,000 XP, and we just got some lucky rolls and we killed him. And so, in fact, I think the guy was supposed to be worth like 300 XP, and he was supposed to run away after you got him down to half health. And so he swapped it out for something much more powerful to give us a better fight. And then we killed it, and so then he divided up the XP, and so it gave us a whole bunch of XP. And so then he got upset because he hates when we go up a level, and he literally hates for us to go up levels. And so then, which doesn't make any sense because it's not even like he made this campaign. He's playing someone else's campaign. Like he's reading someone else's campaign to us while we play. And so we, the next week, we did as much or more stuff, and he decided that we had gotten too much XP the week before, so he only gave us 100 XP when we earned closer to 400 XP that week, which would have taken us to our next level. And he hates when we level up, and so he only gives 100 each instead of the 3 something that we should have gotten. And so then when we do the next week's quest, it's not worth as much as the previous 2 weeks' quests. and so we don't level up. And so then when we start the next week's quest, then we do a couple things, and then he said it was we level up. And I hate when we level up in the middle of a session, which is why we only dole out XP at the end of a session. Because if you level up in a session, it takes a long time because everybody's got to look through all the options on how you can level up because there's different choices you got to make a lot of the times. And so maybe not so much now. Well, no, we're about to hit level 4. Level 4 is a big choice level. But like level 5 won't have a lot of choices usually. And so it takes a long time to level up anyways. And so instead of just letting us level up at the end of the session, he had us level up during the session. And so now we completed this week the chapter. So at the end of the chapter, the book says, the guide that he's using says, we should have hit level 4. Uh, Not that we should be at level 4 immediately as the chapter ends, but that we should have gotten level 4 sometime during the previous chapter. We didn't, because he didn't give us all of our XP. And so instead of moving on to the rest of the storyline, he's having us do 2 or 3 dumb fetch quests again, which I despise. I like side quests that have to do with the storyline. You're on your way to town, you get attacked by goblin raiders, you get to town. The goblin raiders are not necessarily part of the main storyline, but they are related to the main town, they're related to what's going on. The fetch quests in this particular adventure we're playing are straight up fetch quests. Go talk to the talking horse to get the report on what's going on the docks. Has nothing to do with the main storyline. Go to this store, pick up a delivery of potions, take the potions to the statue at midnight. That's all it says in the book. That's it. That's the whole quest. But he's got a guide, so his guide makes all the quests bigger. And so what happens is instead of getting our little bit of XP that we should have gotten and the tiny rewards, he's got big rewards, but a lot more XP, and then he gets upset because we're going to go up our levels faster than he thinks we should because of all the stuff he's making us do instead of just letting us continue with the main storyline. And so it's kind of driving me crazy a little bit. And so this week he's like, "Oh, we should have made it to level 4 and we didn't make it to level 4." And I'm like, "Yeah, because you didn't give us all our XP." He's like, "Well, here," and he gives us 3 quests to do next week. He's like, "These will get you your levels next week, and then we can move on to the next chapter." And I'm looking at him, I'm like, "Well, how about we just go and say we deliver these potions and this other one, because I don't think there's a lot of anything going down with these, right? They seem pretty straightforward." He's like, "Oh, they are in the main book, but I'm using that guide, and the guide's going to make things more interesting. So there's a lot more to them than what you're seeing. So it's probably going to take us all session to get through the 3 quests that you got at the end of this session." I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to go through a big deal, something that's got nothing to do with what we're doing." So yeah. And then I guess, man, the other thing I wanted to talk about real quick was my the campaign I'm running, which he's not a part of. He was a part of, but he never played, and so I kicked him out, and so I got different people to replace him, and so we're progressing. They had the big shipwreck. Because the island got sealed off by the wizards with a magic shield, so they couldn't get through. They got rescued. They got taken to town, and I don't know what they're doing actually. And I I'm waiting for them to make their decisions on where they're going and what they're doing, and they make some weird decisions. And so I'm glad that we're doing this as a play-by-post, so it runs a little slower than a regular game, so that I have more time to plan around what they're doing because some of the choices they make. So like they're not important to the people in charge. Um, Probably in the way they think they're important. They're not like hired by the king to save the princess, right? They are like low-level members of the organization. Ooh, look at all those guys come pouring out. They're low-level organization guys who did a couple of small chores, and so they're like trying to barge in to see the mayor where they're at right now to tell him something that he doesn't care about. And so I don't know how that's going to play out because, like I said, my responses are based off of their responses. And so, kind of making it up as we go. But it was kind of funny to me that they're like, we're going to go tell the mayor. We're going to go tell the mayor in this town that has nothing to do with what's going on. And then they get there, and then there's a line, because there would be a line to see the mayor, I assume, in a large town of over 1 million people. And I'm like, there's a line for appointments, and so they force their way to the front of the line, and I'm like, the guards are going to tell you to get to the back of the line, or else they're going to arrest you. Arrest us, but we've got important information for the mayor. Like, everybody's time is important. I don't think what you want to say is going to be that important to this mayor. I don't think he cares that the wizards shielded off their island. He's got nothing to do with the wizard island. I don't know, but yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We're just about. I feel bad a little bit because we haven't done like a real dungeon crawl yet, which is my favorite part of the game. I don't know how the rest of them feel, but it's my favorite part of the game, and we haven't really hit that yet. And we're right on the cusp of what I want to do for their. Well, it's not a dungeon crawl because we're not necessarily going to be in a dungeon to start with, but it is going to be some outdoor, survival, crossing the dangerous wilderness to get to ruins of an ancient city where the thing they need is buried somewhere in the ruins, kind of thing. But yeah. All right. Well, I think this is working pretty good. Like I said, I might do a little bit more work on it, but I'm definitely getting crystals, and they're coming out pretty good standing up here. As long as I can keep it daytime, because they don't spawn well at night. But I can see them spawning down in the tank, and they're definitely coming up the spout here. So, all right, with that, click, leave your like, subscribe, and catch the next one, and I will talk to you later.